Hey, Pinky and
Good morning.
Francesca,
Good to
so
see
good
you,
to see you.
Nathan.
I am so excited to see you today.
Good.
This is gonna be fantastic. Do we still just have 15 minutes?
We do.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, let's make the most of it. I want to jump right into. We've spent, a fair amount of time over the past couple of days getting to know each other, especially me getting to know a lot about Orange Nation Credit Union. Now I want to turn the tables a little bit. I want to let you know a little bit more about Softchoice, because I've been kind of holding the reins back on that and not really telling you a whole lot about what Softchoice can do. So that's what I want to spend some time doing today. Does that sound good?
It does. Yes.
Okay. So the way we're going to do that is I want to make sure that I've captured what it is that are the highest priorities to you, both from a business standpoint and a technology standpoint. And then I'll get into some of the details about Softchoice's capabilities and experience and how that kind of lines up with what I think that your goals and plans are. So,
Sounds good.
I think at the end of this time, what I really would like, what I hope for you is that you'll be able to be in a position to make one of three decisions, really. Number one, Softchoice is just not a good fit for us, and we should move on to somebody else. Or number two, Softchoice sounds really interesting, and we should keep on talking. Or number three, cancel all your other meetings with other vendors. Okay. So hopefully we'll get to one of those points after we talk about this. So and now if I'm in your shoes, Francesca and Pinky, I'm thinking I am so sick of vendor presentations. Have you heard enough vendor presentations
We just
to
had
laugh
Dell
so
in, I gotta tell you. Yeah.
So everybody says the same thing, right? Everybody can sell you Cisco. Everybody can sell you VMware. Everybody's the best at everything, right? Okay. I hope this is not going to be like that. Okay. I don't have 42 PowerPoint slides on why Softchoice is the best.
Thank you.
Okay. So I wanted to put your mind at ease, but I do want to kind of use the whiteboard here to kind of help visualize some of the things that we've talked about. Now, you said that, Francesca, that the number one goal is for ONCU to remain the number one credit union.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That is really the ultimate goal. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, it's basically by adding more members, and they're going to have to be from that 18 to 35 demographic, right? Now the question is how? Where are they going to come from? Well, they're basically going to come from two places. You've got what I'm going to call the unbanked, right? The young kids still in college with your little programs and education
So
seminars.
you're saying they're not banking with anyone right now?
Right.
Okay.
They're just getting started. Maybe mom and dad had them in some kind of bank account, but now they're going to make a decision about their own bank.
Right.
But they're not really tied to any one bank right now. And then the other place where we're going to try to get a lot of membership from is the big banks, right? That is where the majority of these people are going to come from, right?
Yeah. New market and steel market.
Exactly. Now, what do these two things have in common that we talked about? They have technology. And thanks to the wonders of technology, you guys get to be like a big bank, right? And you've already started to purchase some of the technology that it takes to be like them.
Right.
What do these guys want? They want technology, okay? So this kind of becomes the linchpin to getting all the way to the top, right? Okay? So is that a pretty good summary from a business standpoint of, and really a high-level technology standpoint of where?
Absolutely.
Okay. And this is basically going to be mobile. You guys are already working on that. Web. Got the upgrade coming, right? Sorry if my clouds are a little sloppy, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
So all these things are gonna tie in, roll up to creating a better customer experience, right? Okay. So you're already, like I said, you're already investing in some of the technology that you need to do this, right? You got the new NetApp SAN, you're using VMware, you're looking at Office 365, things like that. What is the main thing that's holding you back? What I heard is agility. Does that sound, really, you could eventually get to everything that you want to do, but it would take a while because you've got developers, right? Happily, working away, pounding away, but the problem is they don't have enough resources. Once again, I'm going to make a big cloud, but so if we can get your developers the resources they need, you get the agility, right? And Pinky, you said the other thing that you don't have is time, right? And I got to thinking about this. Why don't you have time? Well, I think there's two things. Vendors. Do vendors suck up a lot of your time?
An hour a day.
That's why. That's kind of why we're having this conversation, isn't it?
Right.
You want to get rid of vendors because what you really want is a partner. Isn't that basically what you said the other day?
It is.
Okay. And a real partner can help you kind of simplify a lot of this from a technology standpoint. The other thing that I feel like is eating up your time that you said, maintenance, right?
Yep.
That is totally sucking. You said you're spending 80% of your time on that, right?
Yep.
So we wanted to see what can we do to relieve the pressure here to give you time back to innovate. Because that's where, when you have the time to innovate, agility is not going to be a problem. Does that sound about right?
That's right.
Okay. And what are the things that are going to actually enable this to happen? Okay. So we know what we want to have happen, but what is it that's actually going to help you do it? Okay. I've written a couple of things down here, and I want to make sure that I capture them precisely. And one of the things I bet you're probably thinking, okay, Nathan, this sounds great, and you're absolutely right that this is what we want to have happen. But the problem is, I don't know if Softchoice can do it, right?
Right.
Or any vendor that sits down in front of you.
But
I don't know if they can do it.
They all say they can do it.
Exactly,
but,
exactly. So first of all, I just want to mention, and I'm going to email you a packet after this is over with some information from Tech Validate. As you know, they're a third-party source that validates the claims that vendors make about themselves. Okay. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information about some of the customers that we've worked with before, like Indiana Members Credit Union, National Bank of Canada, and Royal Bank of Canada, ATB Financial, Washington Federal Banks. These are financial institutions that range from 350 users to 80,000 users. And we've done projects for them like Exchange migrations and Cisco networking setups and thousands of device rollouts and professional services, all kinds of things like that. I don't have time to go into all the details today, but I wanted to at least give you an idea. We're not a stranger to the financial industry. We're not a stranger to the banking industry. Now, what about the specific technologies that we've been talking about? You know already that we have been managing your Microsoft agreement for 10 years, so obviously we have some expertise around that. The thing is, we also have a lot of expertise around Office 365. We can not only give you the licenses, we can help you deploy it. In fact, we've done over 100 deployments of Office 365, probably more than just about any other partner you could be talking to. And then Cisco, we've got to mention them. That's obviously a big component of your solution right now. You've already got some of the Cisco Nexus switches. And I don't want to go too far into the weeds of this, but I do want to mention real briefly, you've got both you've got your new NetApp SAN, you've got some Cisco Nexus switches, I noticed, and you've got some servers that are looking for a refresh, right? Are you familiar with the term FlexPod?
Yeah.
You aren't? Okay.
Yes.
Have you been looking at that particular technology already? I'm kind of assuming you have.
I've
But
been marinating on it.
okay. That's what's really interesting about what you already have, is that we could just, it may be that the only thing we need to do is bring in some Cisco UCS servers, combine it with components that you already have to create a FlexPod. And the reason that that is significant is that is going to be the foundation of your hybrid cloud environment. This is going to be your on-premise cloud, and then to that we'll add either Azure or AWS or whatever public cloud service, but this is really going to be the engine that runs it along with your VMware. Now, I don't have time to give you the full resume, laundry list of all the certifications that we have, but basically when you talk about Microsoft, Cisco, when you talk about NetApp, we're gold level, master's level certified on all these technologies. You probably already looked at it on our website, so I'm not going to bore you with the, we have all these certifications. But what's really interesting about that, and I think this is where it gets really exciting for you, Pinky, is that we have this thing called Keystone Services. And what that does is that takes all the maintenance, oops, I'm crossing out the wrong thing, all that maintenance, and that goes to us. How would you like it if you never had to call TAC again?
Well, I think my people would like that a lot.
How would you like it if your people never had to spend 1 minute on the phone with Microsoft troubleshooting Office 365?
Well, that would be great, yes.
Okay. Now, that is how you get that time back. Okay. Now I'm looking at my time. I only got about 2 minutes left, so I want to make sure that we kind of capture all this. So that's one of the things that you said you wanted to get back. But I know that you don't just want to get time back for the sake of time, right? You have done a fantastic job of building the IT for this entire organization over the past 10 years. And to put something like this in place that's going to give you the agility to enable what Francesca's trying to do, I think that that will earn you the respect of everybody in this organization. And you deserve it because you've been working towards this the whole time, right? And Francesca, if you're able to implement all of this and we actually start seeing all the members added, what's that? That's going to be increased profits, and that's totally going to validate the board's decision to bring you on as a CIO, right? I mean, because if that doesn't happen, then, dust off your resume, right?
Gee, thanks.
But I think that we have a plan. We have the foundations of a plan here. You guys, this is your plan. I mean, I'm just basically telling you how Softchoice can kind of fit into that plan through some of the things that we are capable of doing. But this is really your dream, your vision, and we can enable it, I believe. Okay? Now, I'm pretty much out of time, but does this make sense? Do you have any questions for me?
It makes sense, but I'm just figuring out how the board's going to react to it.
That's my
Fire.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to take a couple of minutes on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what their reaction will be and just
Okay.
a little concerned.
What is it that concerns you about the board's
Uh,
reaction?
It looks like it could be a major upfront investment in terms of dollars.
Mhm.
So I realize you've only had 15 minutes, but
Right.
Is there a way of I guess itemizing what our upfront investment is likely to be and what we can hope to see?
We can definitely do that. I mean, none of these pieces, I don't have a price tag on any of these pieces until we sit down and assess the environment and get a look at, what it is that, really needs to happen.
Okay.
But as far as that goes, the great thing about a lot of what you're trying to do here, we can do it incrementally. Okay?
Okay.
We don't have to do this all at once. And my commitment to you is to utilize every piece of technology that you already own that still fits within this vision. I'm here to help you maximize that, because you're a credit union. You're not one of these guys who's in it to make a profit. Your profits go back to the...
Yeah.
So I totally get that, and I want to make sure that we are helping you maximize profits.
Well, and I unfortunately have to run because I have to catch a plane to Toronto. So we can follow up with Nathan, right?
Yes,
Andy?
we'll let you know if we have any questions.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Nathan. All right. Give him a round of applause. Wow.
Gotcha. Give me 2 extra minutes.
You did, and I don't usually do that. Mm-mm. I don't ever do that, do I?
No, we just wanted to hear him overcome your objection, though.
All right, so Nathan, let's start with you. And so much to choose from on this one. One thing that you did well.
The whiteboard, maybe? I
Yeah,
think it
okay.
helps visualize, it helps put back into people's minds, because if I just sat there and I said everything, I don't know. I like to help people remember what we've already talked about.
Yeah, you actually visualized the discovery agreement summary, didn't you? I mean, you gave us a snapshot of where we are and what we're trying to accomplish,
Mhm.
and even why.
Mhm.
Very, very, very impactful. I agree. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And nicely done. Very artistic too, I might say.
Yeah, that's a good whiteboard.
It is
You
a-
made that up. I mean, that's not.
It's not cluttered, and it's got just the right things on it. Yeah, I thought you did an extraordinary job of that. All right, so let's open it up to the room, and then we'll get Pinky. Paul.
Well,
What's on Just
the
one
whiteboard
thing.
for-
One
well,
thing, Paul.
Okay, all right. Your intro and rolling into the Ben Duffy, I mean, it was just very disarming and just welcoming and warm and a huge smile. I mean, I'd buy from it.
Okay.
I will say that I actually put my pen down.
I was
As
enthralled.
soon as you started with this, what was interesting to me is that I don't give a shit what logo is on your business card anymore. I want the guy that thinks this way. I want that guy selling to me. So we'll get into the Delta as well, but let me tell you right now that the second you started on there, I took a step back and I was like, where is this guy gonna go? I mean, it was amazing. It was really, really impressive.
I totally agree with that. I was enthralled.
Okay, so-
Anything down.
Okay. Oh. Okay,
Which
guys.
is awesome.
No, because I was like,
Yeah.
All right, so awesome is good, but I want
I wrote a lot of things
specifics.
down.
I have specifics. I want specifics. If you don't have specifics, don't put your hand up, Trey.
So the way you utilized Ben Duffy throughout the presentation was phenomenal. At the beginning, you said, "I know you're tired of the vendor presentations. Really put yourself in their shoes." And then later on, I don't know if Softchoice can do it, or you put them in their shoes, saying you're probably thinking to yourself, "Yeah, this is great, but I don't know if Softchoice can do it." So you used the Ben Duffy to pre-close and to overcome an objection that hadn't even been thrown out yet, which was awesome.
That's a good point.
And then just kind of how you continue to what I call pre-close throughout the conversation. So how would you like it if you never had to do maintenance on Office 365? You never had to call TAC again. And just those things throughout the presentation. Even though you were doing the majority of the talking, you had not just your clients, but everybody in the room just completely dialed in.
So-
really well done.
Can I just comment on what you just said, Trey? Because what was powerful was you didn't tell us, you asked us. You didn't say the maintenance will go away. You said, how would you feel if that maintenance went away? So it wasn't that you were presenting it as a statement, you were presenting it as a question. And then we were immediately going to, how would that feel? Oh my God, that would feel really good. That's a very powerful way to do it. Yeah. Jen.
I like the 1, 2, 3. You were gonna make you're gonna have one of 3 decisions. That was
That
really
was
great.
good.
Like either soft choices and a good fit. And I love the end or where you were like cancel all the rest of the meetings. I thought that was great.
That's cute.
It was very cute. And I mean, they just laughed at that.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
Yeah, that really broke the ice.
Right.
Well, it also tied back into the Ben Duffy of you're tired of vendor presentations. Like, it's perfect.
Do we have one more from the room? Specific,
I was
Ryan.
gonna say, besides being articulate, I like your purpose at the beginning. I thought it was a very lighthearted where you say, let's turn the table, and we can hold the reins or whatever. And I just like that soft approach into it.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Pinky.
Yeah, so I liked like specifically when you said, so you can be like a big bank due to technology. I thought that was a really great way of really articulating what we wanted. I like that you brought in some of the customer evidence and talked about tech validate. And yeah, I really liked it when you said, and then we'll move the maintenance to Softchoice with the arrow. I just thought I thought that was a very impactful way of appealing with the advantage statement. And I thought you did a good job as well on the personal benefit statements. Slightly cheesy, but for the sake of the role play, you just it was perfect. And the last thing was, nope, that's all I have for now. Yeah.
All right, so I just want to get very specific around even the opening. The process. Where do I start? The process. Well, the purpose, process, payoff was so concise. Every word counted, Nathan. You said, I'm here to let you know a little bit more about Softchoice because after your intro piece. And then you said, first off, I want to see, I can't remember the exact wording I've got written down here. I want to capture your highest priorities from a business perspective and then, of course, from a technology perspective. That was so well done because as soon as he said from a business perspective, I'm like, okay, CIO, okay, cool. And I'm sure technology perspective is important to Pinky. And then not just I want to show Softchoice's capabilities and experience, but I want to show Softchoice's capabilities and experience and how it aligns up with those business and technology priorities. And then you did this so that at the end of this you'll have 1 of 3 decisions to make. Your pace. This is an example, especially when you are doing the talking. It was so intentional and, the right pace, the right use of pausing so that we heard every word you said. There was no hanging on to. Remember Dell guy? You could barely remember what he said. Nathan, brilliant. Never lose that. We've already said using questions to make a point rather than statements. What's holding you back? Or you did your visual, and then you said, and then at one point you said, so we've got this. This is the plan. But what will enable this to happen? The fact he said that as a question, I'm like, yeah, what will? Give us the what. Very, very powerful. That's been said. And and again, the maintenance. How would you feel? Sorry, guys, I just have to check because I got almost word for word written down here. And yes, and Pinky mentioned it. The fact that you didn't let the personal motives and interests drop. You specifically linked it back to this is going to help you get to that position with the board where you earn the respect in Pinky with what you're trying to do. So very nicely done. Yeah. I mean, I could go on, but I won't. You get the picture. Very nice. Oh, no, I have to say this. Sorry. One of the things that's important to these guys is that we want to work with a partner that truly, deeply understands our business. And that there shows us. You didn't even need to say it. I understand the credit union. Blah. You didn't even need to say any more. That shows he understands our business, where we're at, and what we're trying to accomplish.
That's
it was really
cool.
well done.
The number 1 right at the top of that whiteboard just like goes, yeah.
Yes, he started with the big
Number
goal,
1.
and then the critical success factor to that goal is we got to attract members, and members in the 18 to 35.
I love the term unbanked too.
Yeah.
Yes, that was very cool.
Yeah.
And and so that was at the beginning, and then at the end, here's what was the absolute nail in the coffin of the competition. You ended it with, you're a credit union. And it was, you're not about making the big bucks. It's all about making the money to put back into the membership. I can't remember how it came up, but the way
you with your objection.
Yeah, but that immediately to me as the CIO said, this guy gets us. And it was the last thing you said, and I walked away with this guy gets us, even after all this. So that was very, very powerfully done. All right, so hey, Nathan, is there anything you do to change it or improve it?
Get more time.
Yeah.
No, I just wish that I had, I don't know what I could leave out, right? I really had a little bit more to say about how this enables agility and things like that, but and getting a little bit more about our capabilities. So I guess if I had spent a little bit more time and somehow figured out how to condense that even more, but I feel like there was so much in there already that it would be difficult to compact it more than I did, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I would agree. One of the things that I felt was when you did start to talk about the technology and the Flex Pod, I was looking for that extra step link back up to the agility, and I didn't hear it. It was starting to sound like let's just talk about the tech.
Right.
And I realized timing's an issue, and it's just that balancing the time. So I agree. That would have made it more impactful.
I almost left this out because when I looked at the clock, I'm like, oh crap, I got 6 minutes. But when I had put it together, that had been part of my thought process when I put it together, and I basically had planned to draw some arrows from these things back to agility and talk a little bit. That's why I'm saying if I had more time, I was going to talk specifically about how these enable agility. But I ran out of time.
If you're aware of it, I feel okay about it, because for me that really is the important piece. Is we know what the technology is, you've got all the certifications and experience in it, but how is that going to link back to getting us the agility that will ultimately get us to our number one goal? Yeah. All right, let's hear from the room. What one thing that would strengthen this, Matt, and then
I was dying to see you pull out that orange marker and write Softchoice.
That was my plan. That was my plan.
I was dying to get it connected into my thing. When I got back to opening my pen and taking notes, was when I felt like it got too in the weeds. Now the feedback they've been giving you is opposite of how I was thinking though. They're saying that was really good. They love tying it back, but to me, we didn't drive it home with, this is Softchoice is going to get you there.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But let me just be clear. That is after one of the coolest openings I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
this is just what will strengthen
exactly.
it, right? Yeah.
If you want to read page 3, then you can see what it could have been.
Yeah.
I wanted to write. That's why I grabbed the orange marker.
I saw it on the desk. I was like, open that marker.
Yeah.
He grabbed it. He just didn't.
Right.
If you'd had 2 more minutes, he probably.
So Ron, I saw Ron's hand go up. Did you hang?
Sure.
One thing, Ron.
And it's just me. I would not have put given them their choices that they can make. I would not have put not choose Softchoice.
Yeah,
I
would.
I did think about that, and I was trying to come up with a more, But the reality, I mean, in this one, this is a custom-made situation for us, right? But the reality is, in some situations, and I almost wrote that it'd be a win-win for both of us, because even if we find out that a customer's not a good fit for us, that's still a win-win because I get to move on to somebody else. I can stop spending time with a customer that doesn't feel like we're a good fit.
So
That's-
we're gonna just take the feedback, because I'll tell you, as soon as it was the number one out, and I immediately went, oh, it had such a negative impact on
Okay.
me, huge. And you brought it back with the next two, the third one especially, because then I realized it's fun. But I honestly think either you take it out, because you can still say you got a couple of decisions to make. I can't remember what the second one was.
Second one was keep, that
Oh,
soft choice
invest-
sounds interesting.
Oh, you're
Let's
right,
keep
because
talking.
his cadence, that first one hung for a while.
But even, or if you had moved it to the second one,
Okay.
we'll have further conversation. But here's the thing, guys, it goes back to that hopefully. If you've got something very powerful and you know you're a good fit for them, as soon as you said that said to me, he has doubt.
Okay.
He has doubt, and it just made me really nervous.
Yeah.
If you weren't sure, if you were coming in and saying, we think we've got something, we're not sure it's 100%, then okay. And there are places, if you're going into a first meeting, we want to find out if we're a fit, that makes sense. But at this stage,
Sure.
yeah.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah, so it had I don't know, how did you feel, Pinky?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the three options. I thought it was cute, but I was just thinking, well, especially when you only have 15 minutes, because that's 2 sentences you could have had at the end of the 15 minutes. But I also just thought, well, and what's your payoff on this whole thing? Because I didn't hear your payoff in the PPP.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's cute. It wasn't my favorite, but it was cute. Yeah.
All right, who else have we got? Ryan, and then Paul, and then back to Pinky.
I felt like sometimes you had started and you asked a question, and then you almost were going to let them answer, and then you actually started answering for them. A couple times I think you did that when it was agility. You started saying, does that sound, and then you almost didn't finish your question and then answered for them. And maybe they were giving you some head nods that I just didn't see, but
I felt like that. Yeah, I would look over at them. They were nodding
sure,
heads.
and that might have been it too.
And Paul?
You had a line in there that when you were referring back to them, telling back to them what their plans were, and you said, what I think your goals and plans are, ... What I believe, this goes back to me yesterday saying hopefully, right? You said what I think. You just spent 2 days with these two women getting their goals and plans. It should have been, you told me, or from our conversations, you have told me your plans and goals are X. Not I think, but they are. And just making it firm that I absolutely understand where you want to go.
Okay.
And I think the thing that stands out for me is, of course, we love the discovery agreement and the visualness of it, but when I looked over, I believe we spent 9 minutes on the discovery agreement, which is more than half the time of the meeting. And I just think that it's so lovely, because we don't want to say, oh, you shouldn't have done this lovely thing, but I just can't help but, mention that it took 9 minutes of the 15. And also, I didn't have the Ben Duffy questions you threw out there. I'm not sick of vendor presentations. I'm pumped to have another 3 after this. I'm good. So when you said that, it didn't land with me, and I was like, why would he think I'm sick of it? Is he sick of vendor presentations?
So again, another example, be careful with the Ben Duffy. And I, on the other hand, was totally with you. It's like,
Yeah, this sucks. Yeah.
And then the other one was I know you're
Well,
probably
and
thinking,
I threw in
Yeah.
there though that the reason I felt like you would be sick of it is everybody says they're the best.
yeah.
So I tried to not just make it,
Yeah, it might sound better as and you might be thinking, gosh, I can't believe how many people always say they're the best. So,
Okay.
And I don't care how many slides the next people bring, nothing is going to land like that.
No.
So you could feel pretty confident saying,
Thanks,
get
Matt. Really looking forward to it.
Did you make slides?
So, all right,
Team,
so.
team, we're already gonna win, it's fine.
So here's the thing, feedback, we just take it, as I said yesterday, we listen to it and we discount it or we take it in after we've watched our videos. But it is an
Yeah.
interesting point about the Ben Duffy, be careful that you do know the person before you throw that out there. And I know you've got a question, a comment, Trey, is it's very
It's
short.
real quick. At the end, and it might have been just a time issue, I didn't hear a final close.
Yeah, I
Sure.
didn't, I ran out
They
of
got up
time.
and left and said, let's talk about this. There was
Yeah.
you never asked for the business.
Yeah, my final close was, was
Okay,
gonna be.
Nathan, we're gonna,
When do you
you
want to
just
start?
listen and
Oh,
say thank
sorry.
you. Okay, perfect.
I'm good.
You're good? All right.
All right.
So my hey, yeah, Francesca has to speak. She is the boss. Stand.
Okay.
Really, stand. I don't know why you didn't stand, Nathan, because that really would have made a huge difference. And it wasn't because we gave you the option. You should have stood because the wheeling backwards and forwards on the chair was a little distracting. Anyway, that was the one. And in terms of the content, the big one for me, and you know this, and Pinky said it, a lot of time on the discovery agreement summary, and I know you wanted longer, you said that yesterday, but you didn't get longer. And so really think about that. If you could have tightened it up a wee bit so that you could, when you talked about FlexPod, when you talked about Office 365, you could make those links back so it landed a little bit more impactfully. Because, that's really what would have made this 100% unbeatable. I mean, it was pretty much there anyway, but, that would have done it. The links, you missed the links and you had the opportunity to do that. So,
Yeah.
but
Francesca,
Stella.
yeah.
I want to take that flip chart home. I'm serious.
Good. Things.
Well done,
Go for
Nathan.
it.